Before we get started, I am doing my first ever giveaway on my Instagram page. Unfortunately, it's my first one, so I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to do it on YouTube yet. I'll try to do one in the future for YouTube, but right now, just Instagram. One winner is going to go home with one of these Venoms as well as the other prizes that you see on the screen here. If you're interested in having an Instagram account, check the link in the description of this video and check that post to see the rules below. Hey guys, it's TF. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing another action figure review. This time it's going to be of the brand new Hasbro Marvel Legends series Spider-Man 2 Gamerverse PS5 version, whatever you want to call it, Venom figure here. This thing is an absolute chonker. It is quite big. This here, as well as the actual wave of, PS5 Spider-Man 2 figures, I think they got announced in February, and this one here, I got mine on Amazon, pre-ordered it. Just recently came in. I think the rest of the wave is soon to fall, even though this technically isn't part. I mean, it is part of the wave, but it's a separate figure. And let's get the elephant out of the room. Hasbro has pretty much all but killed off Build-A-Figures. A lot of series have not had Build-A-Figures lately. Spider-Man hasn't had Build-A-Figures in a while. This probably would have been one, but, maximizing profits by not making Build-A-Figures and just selling big figures here on its own. I kind of get it. It's a little upsetting still, but this on its own still looks really good. So with that tiny little ramble out of the way, I am going to need to turn down the brightness a little bit. You see here where it says Marvel Legends series. You do have a warning choking hazard right there. You have the figure in the box with all the contents there. It is a red backdrop back there, but it does have that white spider logo, Venom, and Marvel Spider-Man 2 Gamerverse ages 4 and up, as well as the Hasbro logo right there. Now, because this is a pretty wide box, it's going to be a little bit hard to see some things. So if I can focus here, maybe turn it down a little, you can see Marvel Legends series. You also have Venom, and then let's actually turn the brightness up a little bit, and you get this nice screen grab, probably some concept art, honestly, of Venom from the game, because I don't know if that's an actual yeah, this is more like promotional art that I'm seeing, because look how big this image is of the promotional art with the Gamerverse logo on the top there. See a city backdrop as well. It looks fantastic. The art here, I should say. The top just says Marvel Gamerverse. Not much going on. There's not a lot going on here, but some credits and a barcode, which I'll take a look at the barcode in a second. Knocked my wall off on the left side there. But as you can see on the back here, if I focus up a little bit, very large image of Miles and Peter trying to take him on. I'm going to do a quick pause right here so you could try to pause and read that, but the wording is a little bit small there. And then let's just actually get an image, a screen grab here for the barcode in case you need it. So let's go ahead and take this figure out of the packaging. Here's the figure out of the packaging. I do apologize that you can see my lights that are usually hidden in the review station. This is a very large figure, so I'm trying to get as much of it as possible in one frame here. But this thing is really fantastic. It's so cool. It's very large. Maybe could do a little bit more for its price, but I am pretty happy with this. Let's go ahead and take a look at the accessories, so we'll take a closer look at the figure. So I don't want to bring it up. I feel like I'm instigating, but this is already going to spark probably another debate about like the Maximum Series stuff, because this is a $60 figure. It only comes with a few accessories compared to a $50 Maximum Spider-Man. At the end of the day, I personally think that this is worth the $60, but it's really up to you if that is going to be worth it. Anyway, let's just talk about the actual accessories. We do have these fists, these symmetrical fists. The open claw type hands are asymmetrical in the figure. We'll talk about those in a little bit. Here's a quick image of what these fists look like when you port them into the wrist sockets going on there. They look really good. The back of these hands have some really nice veins going on there. I am really digging this like claw, right there on the thumb. This glossier black finish here. Looks pretty shiny. That's kind of how the plastic is normally, though, I feel like, on certain Marvel Legends, especially black plastic. But this here, it works if it's supposed to be shiny, because that's just how the symbiote would also look in certain lighting as well. So these are really nicely done. Even if they do seem a little basic, they're still really nice. They're pretty meaty, too. We do have this really sick alternate head with Venom here, with the tongue sticking out, that signature type of look for Venom. I'm really digging how they did the detailing around the eyes. The paint in there is also really clean. I feel like the texturing in the mouth could be a little bit better. It's just molded in this bright red, almost pinkish type of plastic. But you can see the roof of the mouth there with some nice detailing. All the jaws and the tongue going on there look great. I think the teeth are very nicely done. I don't see very many splotches on anything, and even then it would probably be a red color to where it kind of blends in. Now the inside of the teeth, this is not new to this figure. The inside of the teeth don't have, well, actually the top row does. So they painted the back of the teeth on the top row, but not really for the inside. So that's a little disappointing. You can maybe paint that up if you really wanted to. I'm not. I'm bad at painting. But we also, if I can actually hold it, just it's a little bit more smooth than I think I'd like on the top of the head. But you do get a little bit of this like symbiote type of texturing. And of course, this long tongue going on here. This seems to be ported in there. It is a more flexible plastic, but there is a chance you can break this off. So just be careful with that. Now, with this, you have this compatible piece here. This was a pretty big deal, I feel like, when they announced it. Now, I don't know exactly how to insert it. Like, it's supposed to be this way. First of all, you get through the tongue. Now, it's supposed to be this way or this way. This way, I can't remember. I feel like this way looks more natural. This is basically saliva and slobber. You can get it right under. You have to get it in there, and then it can sit behind the teeth. And I'm having trouble doing it right now. You push that in there, and I think that is a really sick effect. I really dig that. I hope they do this for characters like this that need to have this crazy amount of saliva in the future. But, and I haven't tried this with other Venoms yet, but this here is a little trickier to pop off, but it's not impossible. Just be careful with the teeth. Last but certainly not least, you have this large tendril arm accessory for basically just a glob of, the symbiote shooting out. This is going to be ported into the hand segments. So here's a quick image of what this looks like with the, basically putting this into one of the arms there. And I also have the alternate head with the slobber on there as well. This thing does fit in there pretty nice. I do wish we got two of these so you could do it on each arm. You can really only do it one at a time. But also, the cool thing about this is that, depending on how you distribute the weight of a certain figure, as well as this figure too, you can have this holding some of your figures as if it's attacking. So you can have this Miles, like I have right here, getting attacked by Venom, and it does look really cool. And I'm really digging the detailing going on in here as well. Again, it's just molded in a black plastic. I wish they had a little bit of paint variation going on here, maybe a little bit of a bluish finish to it. It looks a little yellowish right now because of the lights. Maybe a little also, some of the lights are more yellow than others, so it looks a little bit blue in some areas. But great detailing overall, I feel like. There is no articulated segment at all in here. You can really just swivel at the wrist segments. All these long strand pieces here. All of that just looks really fantastic. So again, I think maybe it could have a little bit more for the 60 bucks, but I feel like what we have here for this exact Venom is still really nice, and I feel like we haven't gotten stuff like this with previous Venoms in the past, so it's still nice to see all these unique type of accessories. Quick disclaimer, for some reason this side is darker than this side when it comes to my lighting. I've tried to fix that, tried to fix it on the camera too. It's not gonna really work out. If I go too bright, then you're not gonna see the whites very well. But either way, you can still see this pretty well. This head sculpt is really nicely done. I'm really digging the teeth. This really long smile going on here. You can see the exposed gums. Those are really sick. The bone color on all of the teeth too. Let's zoom in a little bit. All of that looks really great. And really clean paint too. Maybe it should get, actually maybe not, but some people say maybe it should get up all the way here, but we do need some gum to be exposed, to make it look like gum. So I really dig that. The way the eyes are done too, again, very solid. I want to say this again, and I don't really know how accurate this is to the game, but I feel like the head, just like with the alternate head, could have a little bit more texturing compared to the rest of the body. You do have some texturing up here, but like around the chin and the top of the head, there's not much of that. And then the rest of this has this nice vein-like texture all throughout. But that is a rather minor complaint because this still looks really nice. I think I already mentioned the eyes, but there's nice like creases and wrinkles around the eyes as well. I'm really digging this enormous spider logo all throughout, and I'm trying to feel this. There is actual protruded sculpting going on here. With that, you do have some very clean white paint. I think there's a little bit of black splotching on there. I don't know if that's something I can clean. No, that's actual paint chipping, so could be a little bit better. But I actually really dig how they continued the spider logo, because sometimes if it gets to like multiple body parts, it starts to break up a little bit. And I actually don't think they did that bad of a job making this continue. Now, yes, this is going to be a little misshaped in these two, but like, yeah, so I actually don't know. I feel like if you do go forward a little too much, yeah, it does break it up a little too much, unfortunately. And then going back there, I mean, yeah, that's just the nature of things with these figures, man. Even like an SH Figure Arts, if it would do it like this, it has to do it like that. I mean, there is also a very large black section right here. Maybe this should be white as well. It also seems like there's layers of white. If I can focus real quick. Now, let's see if I can even pick it up. I have to turn on the brightness a little bit. It is a little hard to see, so I won't complain about it too much. But there's a lot heavier white here, and there's a little bit of a blackish white, I would say. It's as if they like double layered this and then only had like one layer. But you really can't tell, especially when I have this brightness up. And in person, yeah, you really can't tell that much. So it's not really that much of a complaint. What I do like is, well, hang on, let's do this again. Yeah, so that will break up things, but it is cool that they have at least attempt to kind of regulate, you know, all of that. That's still, like, I'm just really impressed with all of this, like the way that it wraps around the entire torso. Now, yes, you're going to have a large seam line there because of the plastic, but it's really not that, I really don't notice it that much. It's worse on like skin tone for some action figures, you know, in this line. But when it comes to the black here, it's just molded in this color. It still looks good. You're not going to get really any paint apps anywhere else on this figure. You got it in the head, some of the accessories, as well as the entire torso, which is still very good, and it's pretty accurate for, you know, Venom here. Maybe some shading again in some areas, like a little bit of blue added, some highlights, or maybe some purple. That would look nice, but there's a chance it could have looked not right and not as accurate to, you know, the actual source material. So, you know, the lighting will do the work for that too. Like, it looks a little bit purple in certain lighting, a little bit blue in a little bit of different lighting as well. But again, great vein detail, great texturing of the symbiote all throughout the arm here. My arm's getting a little wobbly itself, you know, my actual arm. But then you have like the back here, great detailing. I feel like it's kind of a no-brainer, pinless tech here. Brand new sculpt for this. I don't know how they're going to reuse this in the future. I mean, I'm sure they could. Then we have this one claw hand here with really nice claws on the fingernails. And the inside of the hand has some really nice texturing going on too. Just to show you what I'm talking about with the hands from earlier, you can see that this is more grasped. As you can see, like grabbing something, maybe even a Spider-Man. You can, not really. The way, I mean, this also could be a grabbing hand, but it's way more open compared to this. And you might as well grab things with the tendril accessory as well. But I don't mind that maybe it should be spread out a little bit more, but I also don't mind this claw hand looking like this too. Again, you can grab things. All that texturing, once again, looking really good. Then we get down to the entire lower half of this figure. Again, great texturing all throughout here. I've kind of already shown it off, like all the way around a second ago, but you know, texture on the buttocks as well, around the thigh sections, around the back of the legs, like pretty much everywhere except for joints. And even then, yeah, I mean, it's not that noticeable on the joints, you know, the lack of it. And then you also have how it looks like on the knees, and then the front of the thighs there, lots of nice musculature. That's probably something I should mention. Excuse me. I should mention, if I could speak, musculature is really good on this figure. It's very bulky, lots of muscles everywhere. I feel like they do have some abs going on here. as well. Stuff on the back. And then we do have, let's zoom out a little bit actually. All that texturing. Yeah, just giving you an overall look now of how the texturing is done, because you're starting to get an idea of what I mean with pretty much the same kind of this vein-like symbiote texture all throughout. Something's up with this, and it's a little weird. But we also get to the toes, and we have these very nice claws. Something's going on with this one, though. That's popping out a little too much. But very nice toe sections going on there. And then when we look on the bottom of the feet, because this is going to be a little difficult, there's not really any texturing. You could get a little bit underneath the toes, but you do also have the copyright there and some peg holes at the bottom of the feet, which they look a little shallow. I don't know if you can actually use those, but this thing is very nice, big, hulking, and really cool. Now, articulation on this thing is very good, but the joint construction in some areas is a little iffy, and I will explain in a little bit. So, first of all, the head really doesn't want to go up that much. You'll get some extra help when you move the torso, but moving down, yeah, that could be a little bit better. It's actually a little worse with the alternate head, so up and down, not great, but tilt is fine, I think, and then a rotation here, not bad at all. We do have butterfly joints in this thing, too. Forward and back could be a little better, not too bad, though. Arms do go all the way around here. They go in and out there. Oh, that's as far out as it goes. It's actually not bad. Upper arm swivel. You also get double jointed elbows that aren't too tight here, so that looks pretty nice. Sometimes the double or the pinless tech makes it a little too hard to bend that. In and out, and swivels here at the wrist. This is for all sets of hands. We do have an ab crunch right here and a ball jointed waist. You're really only going to be using the ball jointed waist. This ab crunch, it kind of looks like it's going back, but it kind of wants to go back into place. It does have a click in there, but yeah, forward's not great. So you're really relying on this side to side, back, actually not bad at all. Forward, not too bad, and then a swivel here as well. Legs go out pretty much this far. That's not bad at all. Back is pretty non-existent because of the buttocks, and then almost a perfect split. Upper thigh swivel. You do get a double jointed knee right there. And you do get a calf rotation, which is nice. However, this here does pop off, and it seems like I'm pulling really hard, but I'm actually not. This pops off rather easy, but popping it back in is not too bad either. You also have a down motion here going on at the ankle, moving the camera on accident. And you got up, could be a little bit better, not too bad. Then you do have an ankle rocker here, and then you do have a toe hinge. I keep moving the camera, sorry, but this likes to stick out. You can push it in pretty easily, so up and down, yeah, that could definitely be better. It feels a little loose too, but toe hinge is pretty nice on this, so pretty good articulation. Some of these joints are a little funky though. Now I have to stand off to the side of the camera to do this properly because this thing is pretty large. I gotta stand for this. This thing is like, what, 27, 28 centimeters, and that is gonna put this around 10.5 inches, maybe even taller. It's going to be especially taller compared to some other Venom figures, like that monster Venom there on the right. Then on the left, we have that Sony movie Venom there, which is, it's still pretty tall, but it is definitely shorter than the video game Venom. And then it's almost twice the size, of course, as that Gamerverse Miles Morales. Overall, I am really happy with this. I love how this looks. I love how big it is. I love the detailing on it, even though it could be a little bit better. I think it is especially good for something like this. The paint apps are very minimal when it comes to problems I have with them. You could say the paint apps are minimal in general, but it really has what it needs in terms of those paint apps. It's still really good. The articulation is really awesome, but some of the joints seem a little wonky on here, like popping off a little bit. They can pop on just as fine. Nothing's broken yet, of course. The accessories are pretty cool, but again, this is a $60 figure. It might spark up a debate again about the Maximum series and all that. I'm just going to tell you how I personally feel. I really wasn't interested in that Spider-Man for other reasons, but this I was interested in, and this here, I am really happy with it. Who knows, if I was interested in that Spider-Man and got it, maybe I would have said it was worth it. Who knows. This thing still really, really sick. It's pretty easy to get right now because it just came out, and the rest of this wave, I believe, is coming out in the next couple days after I do this review. I also just want to reiterate, as of recording this, I do have in the link in the description an Instagram post to try to win this and some other prizes. Go check that out if you are interested. Try to follow the rules as best as you can. Thanks again for watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Comment down below what you think of the figure, what you think about the review. Leave a like, share amongst your friends. Follow me on Instagram for more content over there, and I'll see you guys later.